Yeah. Once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kens TV in the house like kitchen sinks. Now, before I get into this afternoon story, if you will, understand that I'm the self-proclaimed Mr. 30 Minutes or Better, meaning that anytime I drop a story, it's guaranteed to be 30 minutes or better. So if you're on your way to work, you're at work, you don't feel like being there as you so often don't, as we so often don't, rather. You're on your way home from work, you need to laugh, you need to cry. Perhaps you're trying to lay down and take a nap, or you're trying to go to sleep at night, depending on whatever time you're listening to or viewing this video, or you're just in the mood for a good old-fashioned true, keyword being true, penitentiary / life story / life experience. This is the channel for you. If you prefer your 8 to 12 to 15-minute videos, absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But at Real Kens TV, it's 30 minutes or better. So with all that being said, with all that being wrapped up into one big old nutshell that is, there is a message. Before I get into the actual message, y'all jump in the comment section. Let it be known where you from, your city, your state, your hood, your set. Let us know if you the man or the woman that you say you be. You know, oftentimes, there's I don't necessarily want to call it a sentiment, but it's an understanding that a lot of women grow up, I'm not speaking for all women, but a lot of women grow up wanting to have that somewhat perfect life. Meaning marriage, house, the picket fence, the kids, the dogs running around the house. Everybody wants to have that fairy tale life story, if you will. Again, when I say everybody, I'm just speaking in general, relatively speaking. But then you start to see some of these things that occur, some of these catastrophes and whatnots, and these horrific stories that you see and you hear about in these marriages, and it's just like, wow, is that what I really want? Is there a true meaning of real happiness? And if so, would it last? Will it endure the test of time? Or will it just be like a honeymoon, just something that just lasts momentarily, and then it gets old, and now you're looking for the next best thing, the next challenge, if you will. You got a couple met in college, and they took it slow. They met, they were in the same class, both were freshmen or what have you, and they meet in college, and they date for a while. Once again, nothing is rushed or whatever. They're living that, the college life, 18, 19 years old. You're not really trying to rush and get into a relationship. They date pretty much that first year. Second year, they were exclusive. You love me, I love you. They go into the third year of college. They're very, very serious about, their relationship, their future plans. They're making plans later on in life once they finish college. Fourth year of college is still going strong. They both graduate. And they get married right after college. Everything's going well. They didn't have a silver spoon. They wasn't born with silver spoons or whatever. So they didn't have a hookup with a job or anything of the sorts once they finished college. So, they did like most people do when they finish college. They struggled. She had a job at it was like a firm in which it was like a matchmaker sort of ordeal. People would come in, they were having trouble dating or finding people, companionships, and they would be matched with individuals that fit their, criteria, to say the least. Him on the other side, he was in the medical field, and so he worked at like a little, it's like a little drugstore, whatever. Anything that it took to make ends meet. Actually, it was like a pharmacy. Again, they didn't have much. They lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. At the particular time, they didn't have kids, so that was a good thing. They didn't rush and have kids. They were just, using the stairs in life. A lot of us want to use the elevator. They were taking the stairs in life. They had been married, I don't know at this point, Now we're going to fast forward some years. At this point, they had been married maybe 6 or 7 years. Things were still going well. They rarely got into an argument, rarely fought. Now, to paint the picture for you all, because sometimes, people, they do stories, they put the pictures up on the screen. I'm not going to do all that today. You got this individual, dark-skinned dude, stayed in shape, probably about 200 pounds, 205. Of course, he was 5'11". I mean, come on, Kenzo, you go with that 5'11". I can't help it that, for you all that's never seen my videos, I'm going to give you a brief overview. People say that every time I tell a story and I'm describing someone, that person just happens to be 5'11". I don't know why. That's just what it is. Most people are 5'11". So again, he was 5'11". Darker toned individual, dark complected or whatever. Low haircut, like a little fade or whatever. She was beautiful. She was about 5'6". Caramel complected. She probably weighed about 140. Shorty 140. Beautiful teeth, beautiful smile. Long, dark hair. Came down to, I don't know, a little bit past the shoulders. She was beautiful. As I mentioned, they had been married for 6 or 7 years, been together over 10 years, and it was just, everything was going swell. But it seems as though her lifestyle started to, I don't know, she was somewhat bored with the lifestyle. They worked opposite shifts. A lot of times when she was coming, he was going, and vice versa. But they always made time for each other. They always, he always made sure that, they did a date night. He always made sure that he complimented his wife. But I guess it was getting so much stale. Now, at her job, as I previously mentioned, she's a matchmaker. This individual that comes in, we're just going to call him, what's a good name to call him? I don't even remember his, we'll just call him Steve. Steve comes in, smooth dude, black dude, dark skin. Believe it or not, he's 5'11" just as well. And I know this because I seen him stand side by side, so he has to be 5'11". This individual, Steve, was rich, wealthy. But even with that being the scenario, I guess he was having a hard time finding someone as far as on the dating scene. He would come in week after week after week. And when he's speaking with this young lady, and we'll just call her Tina. When he's speaking with Tina, she's going over all the things that he likes and the things that he's looking for, matchmaker. Love connection. Chuck Woolery type shit. And so he gets to realizing that a lot of the things that he's looking for in a woman, she possesses. She fits the criteria. You know how it is when you meet somebody and at first you're kind of standoffish, and then, you talk a little bit more. The more you see them, the more that you interact with them, the more that, you become comfortable with them. You tend to open up, pause. And so they discovered that not only did they like or have a lot of the same things in common, they both loved to run, exercise. It was a park. Every Saturday, they would both be there at the same time running, and they never really quite noticed each other. Initially, they did. Got to the point to where the conversations were becoming more and more personal, friendlier. But the line hadn't been crossed at that point. Now, in the meanwhile, her husband, he's at work. There was a young lady that started to work there. She's a black young lady just as well. Attractive, very beautiful. He's not even looking at her remotely in that way. It's just a professional conversations that they have. It never ever was any flirting or anything of the sorts that went on. You know, they say that a lot of times when affairs take place, it's typically at the workplace. I don't have any statistics or anything to support that, but in my opinion, I tend to believe that because there's so many, depending on where you work at, but typically it's gonna be opposite sex at your job. Like they're gonna be everywhere. A lot of places frown upon that, but it doesn't stop anything. People gonna, do their thing regardless of if it's people at work or people at church or people wherever they're at. You're attracted to an individual, you're gonna do your thing, man. Y'all rock with me. It's a little noisy, I apologize, but it's like 90 degrees in Kentucky today in Lexington, and the area is home. Come on, Kens, we ain't come to see you drink water, motherfucker. Get on to the story. Respectfully. So as the time, surpassed, or, they got more and more comfortable with each other. One day they were jogging together in this park, and an individual that was riding a bike, there's a trail that they would run on, like a track, and I guess he wasn't quite watching where he was going, and he runs into her. He runs into the young lady. He runs into her. She falls. She hurts her ankle. Steve's pissed. You need to watch where you going. He's threatening to beat the dude up or whatever. She's like, no, it's not that serious. I'm okay. He's threatening the dude or whatever, and the dude's on the bike. Hey, dude, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude. He wasn't going to really do a real one like that, but I guess he's seen somebody and he felt as though that individual, he could get, he could take advantage of the situation. No, dude, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. You need to watch where you're going. At any rate, dude drives off or what have you. So now Steve is helping her up. Are you okay? She can walk, but she can't really put any pressure on it. You know, in the scary movies. In the scary movies when they running from the bad guy, Jason or Michael Myers or Freddy or somebody, and they run into the woods. Out of all places they run into the woods, what's the number one thing that happens? Y'all jump in the comment section, let me know. What's the number one thing that you can count on happening as they're running through the woods? They're gonna slip, fall, and sprain their ankle. Go on without me. Go! You don't have to wait on me. Leave! I'm not leaving you. I will not leave me. Give me your hand. And the guy picks her up, and you got Jason coming. You got that scary music. Kush, kush. You got that scary music in the background. And somehow he's able to carry her or assist her enough to the point to where they're getting away from this maniac. So this is how he was carrying her initially, or helping her away. Finally, he just picks her up. He picks her up into his arms and takes her to his house. Y'all see where this is going? Takes her to, his house or whatever. He got a nice condo. Like I said, dude is rich. He's driving like a Lamborghini or something like that. Obviously, she's looking around. She's very impressed by what she's seeing. She's not showing it, but she's really, really impressed by it. Wow. He's doctoring her up. He's putting tape on her ankle or whatever. Now, miraculously, she calls her husband. She calls her husband, tells her husband what happens. And Steve drops her off at her house. Meets the husband. They shake hands or whatever. Husband has absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. Never questions her. Never has a second thought about it. Like, you out jogging with this dude? And he brings you to his house. And then brings you to our house. And this is the dude that is a client at your job. And you seeing this bright red Lamborghini pull up. You seeing that he's well dressed. He's well put together. Pause, double pause. But, dude was in shape. It never dawned upon you. It never crossed your mind. You never had the thought of saying, hey, baby, I'm not really feeling that, man. You're going to have to nip this in the bud, man. It's okay to have friends or whatever, but this is not acceptable, man. You're my wife, man. Never. That's how much he trusted her. That's how much he just, I don't know if it was just that he was in tune with his career and because he was still in school trying to advance his career. I don't know what the scenario was, what the situation was, but all I know is it couldn't have been me. Could it have been you all? It couldn't have been me. More and more time goes past, and he invites her on a trip. It's like a day trip. Dude was so loaded, dude was so rich, he had his own jet. Initially, she said no. He's like, no, it's nothing like that. I understand that you're married, but I just want to, take you, show you a good time or whatever. Just to, get your mind off of things. And so they go. I forget exactly where they went at, but I believe they went to New Orleans for the day. Have a good time. Actually, he had a business meeting and he wanted her to attend it. And so she's in the boardroom while he's, he introduces her to everybody or whatever. And, he seals the deal. So they celebrate, they're having drinks and, things of that nature. It's a married woman. She has to get back home. They get on the jet, on their way back, they're talking. She's looking out of the window in amazement. She's like, I've never seen anything like this. Like I'm in awe. I'm blown away by just everything that I've seen today. Steve smooth. Well, how would you feel about this not being a one-time thing? What do you mean? What do you mean not a one-time thing? How would you feel about you being able to live like this every day, anytime you want to? She doesn't know what to say. She's looking at him into his eyes. He's looking into her eyes. He comes forward because the seats that they were sitting in faced each other like recliners. He starts to come closer. Puts his hand on her knee, on her thigh, and he's rubbing it. Please don't tell me you don't want me. Tell me you don't want me. I'm married. We have to keep this professional. My husband wouldn't approve of this. It's been gone beyond that. If it was professional, if it was just solely professional, you wouldn't be here. Tell me you want me. Tell me you want me. I just tell me you want me. As he's telling her, instructing her to let him know that she wants him, he's moving forward. It's closer and closer. Starts to kiss on her neck. Starts to kiss on her ear a little bit. Nibbling on her ear. Please stop. All the while she's like this. Please stop. Please, I'm married. My husband would not approve of this. No, stop it, no. He stops. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of happiness? Are you afraid of feeling good? Let's face it, as I already mentioned, you wouldn't be here if you didn't want to be here. Tell me you want me. I just. Next thing you know, he kisses her. And she stop. And next thing you know, clothes flying everywhere on the jet. She gets home. Hey, baby. Husband, he done cooked for her. The mother's living there with them temporarily. They live in an apartment, as I mentioned. Hey, baby, where you been at? She's so somewhat ashamed, but yet she's in awe about what she's done. She's conflicted. She didn't really know how she was feeling. I just had to work a little late at work. Everything's good. Husband still not suspecting anything. Only thing she wants to do is go in, take a shower, and go to bed. Husband's trying to, once he gets out of the shower and comes in, he's trying to, he's in the mood. She already got hers. She's not in the mood whatsoever. Again, this is a caring, understanding guy. My baby's just tired, man. I'm going to just hold her tonight. Two of them continue to see each other from time to time. Actually, it wasn't from time to time. It was more and more often. Got to the point to where she would be at home and Steve would call her. I'm coming to pick you up right now. I can't. I'm in the middle of cooking dinner. You don't want me? He would manipulate her, with this whole you don't want me. Tell me you don't want me. I couldn't tell that last night. I'll be there in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, however long it was. She makes some excuse of why she had to leave. Husband still wasn't quite, I don't know if he's a sandwich short of a picnic. I don't know what the husband was on, but he still wasn't getting the obvious, I don't even know if you want to call it a hint at that point, but he wasn't getting it. Once again, he's at home one evening. They're at home one evening. Husband's watching the football game. She's trying to talk to him. Okay, baby, just after the game, when the game goes off, we can, phone rings. This dude, Steve, man, he's just an arrogant, he's an arrogant individual. He's literally calling her home, knowing that she's there with her husband. She ends up leaving. This time she stays out all night. She don't even come back home. Now the husband's finally starting to suspect something, like, hold on, man. Something's just not right. She comes in the next day. The mother, she's one of those. The mother was more so of a very, very religious woman. So she was, and God didn't like this, and God didn't like that, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I'm not mocking that whatsoever. Just giving you all a, an overview of everything that took place. Husband wakes up, he hears her arguing with her mother, but it wasn't one of those arguments to where they were just going back and forth. It was more so the mother just, and you know better than this. You have a husband in there that loves you, and you smell like liquor, and I do not like the fact that you stayed out all night long, and, saying motherly things. Loving motherly things, I may add. He's trying to ask his wife, what's going on? What's the problem? Nothing. I mean, baby, talk to me. It's me. Talk to me. Nothing. I just want to take a shower and just leave me alone. She been doing dirt. She been doing the most. But yeah, she got a problem. That's that Jedi mind trick. That's that, you've been doing wrong, but somehow, some way, you get an attitude with the individual that you've been wronging. Make it make sense. Closer that she got to Steve, this rich individual, the worse that she treated her husband. Got to the point to where she just staying gone for days. She won't tell him anything. He's asked, baby, just talk to me. Let me know. Is it something I can change? Is it something that I can do? Is it something that I can do different? Like, is there somebody else? No, there's nobody else. Why don't you just understand and believe me? Why don't you believe me? I just have some things on my mind. All the while you freaking doing the nasty. Yeah, you got some things on your mind. But it wasn't him. When I say it wasn't him, it wasn't your husband. It was Steve. He's trying to figure out. He's talking to the young lady at work. Remember the young lady that I said that worked at the pharmacy with him? He's trying to talk to her. Well, she's going through her own thing. So he's trying to help her out, but yet he's dealing with some problems as well. So the problems that she was going through, she had this individual, which was her ex-boyfriend, and he wouldn't leave her alone. Every time she would move, every time she would try to relocate or whatever, he'd find her. She never said his name. She never really said what the issue was, but she just said, she was just tired of running. So the two of them were just leaning on each other, but it was just strictly a friendship type of ordeal. One day, wifey comes in. She tells her husband, listen, I'm just not feeling this. I'm bored with this situation. I'm bored in this marriage. You're a great guy, but I need an extraordinary guy. Understand what she said to her husband. You're a great guy, but I need an extraordinary guy. And Steve, that's what he does for me. Steve excites me. We do things on a whim. We spontaneous. I'm excited. I'm excited about life again. Please, no, baby, please don't do this to me. We took vows. Listen, man, I'll do whatever it takes. I'm just trying to go to school and become better for us. And it's too late. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. But he shouldn't even have been apologizing in the first place. He never wronged her. She's gone. She's living a rockstar lifestyle, rather. They party and she's getting high. He starts to somewhat notice, whenever he would see her appearance is just not the same. Steve told her that she could quit her job. Matter of fact, he pretty much demanded that she quit her job at the agency. Listen, I'm going to buy you a building. We're going to start our own. And you're going to own it. But you got to be mine. You got to leave due. That's what primarily pushed it over the top as far as why she left. Situation occurred. She goes to her job. She quits. They start this new agency or whatever where she's running the whole thing. But again, they're partying so much. Somehow the husband finds out what club they're at one night. He goes into the club. They're sitting on the couch. We got Steve. He got his wife on one side. And there's another female on the other side. They toasted. They roasted or whatever. He grabs his wife. Come on, you're coming home with me. She goes outside. They arguing back and forth. What do you not understand? I don't want you anymore. I'm done. I'm getting a divorce. I'm done. I'm finished. He has tears coming down his eyes. Once again, he's begging again. Please don't do this to me. Please. I'm begging you. You are everything to me. You are my love, my life, my rib. Please do not do this to me. Whatever I did, I'll apologize. I'll fix it out. Spare yourself. Spare yourself. I'm done. She walks back inside of the club. He's standing there. Baby, please, please. Gets in his truck. Goes home. Next couple of days, he's speaking with the young lady at his job, but they're not at the job. They're at her house. They're talking. They would, I guess, somewhat lean on each other and help each other, throughout their tough times that they were both having. She goes a little bit more in depth, or a lot more in depth, with her situation. And she tells him, his name is Jacob, by the way. I haven't even said his name the whole time, but his name is Jacob. She's telling Jacob about the situation with her ex. I guess Jacob was feeling somewhat vulnerable, so he moves in to try to kiss her. Her name's Monica. He moves in to try to kiss Monica. Monica instantly stops him. Like, listen, I understand you're hurting right now. I'm hurting too. I understand that you're in a mourning phase, but you're not attracted to me. I'm just something to do because I'm here right now, and that's not what our friendship is about. She goes on to tell him, listen, I don't tell a lot of people this, but I'm HIV positive. Jacob's, what? But you look perfectly normal. You look perfectly well. You beautiful. Don't feel sorry for me. I've accepted it. I've been positive for like 4 years. It's my fault. It's not her fault, but she took accountability, accepted responsibility for it. But it wasn't her fault. I chose to continue to deal with my ex. I wasn't with different men. I continued to deal with my ex. And he's the one that gave it to me. She said his name. Steve. Hold on, Steve. Hold on, Steve? Is he rich? Does he look like this? Does he drive this car? Yes. How'd you know? Oh, my wife! My wife! We gotta go. They jump in the truck. He had an old pickup truck. They jump in the truck. They go to Steve's house. They get to Steve's house. The wife was inside on the couch. While this was going on, Steve had beat his wife up really bad. They were high, drinking. She got fed up about something that Steve had done, and she was trying to leave. Steve, oh, you think you just gonna leave me after all I done for you? And he beat her up. So she's on the couch, man. She's laid out. Steve's in another room, passed out somewhere. Grabs his wife. Come on, baby, we going home. I'm sorry, baby. I should have never left you. I was so wrong. I treated you so bad. I treated you so mean. Come on, baby. Don't even worry about it. It's how much love he still had for his wife. Packs her up. Puts her in the truck. Monica's out there. She's helping her, assisting her, whatever. Where you going? Jacob's going back into the house. Where you going? Got something to handle. He goes into the house. Steve's passed out on the bed in the other room. He wakes him up. Starts to beat the hell out of him. Don't you ever come around my wife? He's kicking him. He's stomping. I'm talking about he's stomping him all the way out. As Monica hears the commotion, she comes in and because it had been a while, she's trying to figure out what's going on. She figured what he was probably in there doing. She's pulling Jacob up off of me. Unalive this man. He looks at Monica. What are you doing here? He done just got the hell beat out of him. Plus he's high and he don't know if he's obviously not in his right frame of mind. They leave. Wife is forgiving. Well, she's wanting to be forgiven. All of a sudden she loves her husband so much now, and she's so sorry, and she'll never do it again, and I apologize, and I just wasn't in my right frame of mind. And all the while they waiting on the test to come back. The tests come back. She's HIV positive just as well. Jacob's not HIV positive. This dude, Steve, was just going around just randomly meeting women, giving them HIV. Purposely giving them HIV. Rich dude. So a lot of the women that he wanted, he was able to, accomplish that goal, that mission. And gives this woman HIV. A perfectly fine marriage went left that fast. So is it really, really worth it to get married? I'm not saying that it's not. Y'all let me know in the comment section. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about a situation like this? Here it is, Jacob, going to work every day, going to night school, trying to become a better provider for his family. He's already providing. He's trying to become a better provider. He doesn't cheat on his wife at all. He doesn't party. He doesn't hang out. He's at home when he's not at work or at, school. They go to church every Sunday together. And the wife is out freaking with a rich dude, man. Because she wanted to feel some extra, adventure. See, love alone wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for her. She had to seek I don't necessarily want to say love outside of the marriage, but she was seeking something outside of the marriage because she got with this individual. And look what happened. It called HIV. Jacob, as he should have, went on to divorce her. Ended up getting with someone else. They took their time. They both got tested. He explained everything to her, and she understood, and they went on to have kids and have a family. And she treated Jacob the way that Jacob should have been treated. It's scary, man. I know all women aren't the same, all dudes aren't the same, but it's a scary situation out here, man. Can you imagine that? You with somebody and you thinking that it's just, the two of you, monogamous relationship, and she's sleeping with somebody. And not only is she sleeping with somebody, she's sleeping with somebody unprotected, and she brings that back to you. You got to be careful. Be careful who you're dealing with. I would recommend just communicate. Talk it out. If you don't want to be with me, I don't want to be with you. Why? Because I don't want to be with anybody that don't want to be with me. Respectfully. But don't go out here and cheat. I'd rather you leave me. It's going to sting. It's going to hurt. But I'd rather you do that than to be out here messing with a Steve. Even if the individual doesn't have... Because, there's other diseases besides HIV. You all do know that, right? There's other diseases that you can't get rid of. You're putting my life at danger. You're putting that individual's life at danger when you're out here. We're not teenagers anymore. We're not, everybody's not young anymore. Like, it's stuff that you, and it's not okay to do with them, but these are things that you do early on in your life when you're young. Not when you're 30, 40, and 50. If you want to be single, just be single. Don't drag that person in the mud with you. You reap what you sow. In this particular situation, she definitely had to pay the Pied Piper, man. Real Kids TV. Hopefully y'all like the video. Feel free to comment, definitely share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and be sure to hit that post notifications anytime I bring you this action and this heat. Guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Y'all do me a favor. Do me one favor. Y'all make sure that your notifications on. A lot of people are thinking that I no longer upload. Because like, Kens, dude, I haven't gotten a notification and my notification bell is on. Y'all just check that notification bell. I believe that I've been shadow banned. Matter of fact, I'm almost positive that I've been shadow banned by YouTube. Not exactly sure why. They're not even sending out my notifications at this point. And so it gets a little... disheartening, if you will, to say the least, when you put these videos out and you take the time to upload these videos, and then you look up and you're not really getting views. And it's one of those things. It's not an excuse. It's not. YouTube will do that to you. Like, if you get on YouTube's bad side, they'll shadow ban you and won't push your content out. I don't know why. Once again, I don't know exactly what I did. I don't know. Maybe I had to clean my language up or whatever. So I try not to really curse as much now. It could be that. I don't know. It's not like they give you a warning or they tell you. So I don't know. But that's okay, because I'm for the people. So I need the people to be for me. When I say the people to be for me, just share my videos. Just check my channel randomly, and just to see if I've uploaded. Because I'm definitely uploading. I never stopped. Can't stop. Won't stop. You know what I mean? And shadow banned or not, the show must go on. Real Kids TV.